On. Close this. Okay. Good evening. Hare Krishna.
Good
Welcome
evening.
to Gita Wisdom Session. We are on chapter 17, the three divisions of faith, which is also known as Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga. We have completed the first part, so we'll be doing the part 2 today, verses 17 to 28. And the acronym of this chapter is very interesting. Faith. What is faith? We will go through. Let me start by offering obeisances to my Guruji, His Grace Gaur Vilas Prabhuji, and my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. And I seek all your blessings so that you're all exalted devotees, Vaishnavas, who are taking time off on a Sunday evening to join the Gita class. So, with your blessings, I will pray to Lord that I am able to do justice to this topic as we start the discussions. Let us say our prayers. I will say, and you can repeat after me. Why is this not coming? Yeah. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So, with this, today, a quick recap of what we studied in the last month's class. So, we have gone through F and A partially. F is faith. So, Krishna described to us what are the different types of faith, and depending on our faith, what is the mode of worship we adopt. Then, A, we started with learning what are the different types of food. Even the food, imagine how precise is Vedas. They tell us what kind of food helps you be in the mode of goodness and what of kind of food takes you into the mode of ignorance. Then we talked about yajna, sacrifice. Whatever work we do, karma, if you offer it to the Lord, it becomes karma yoga. Tapa, austerity. Here there are six verses defining tapa austerity, of which we have completed 14, 15, 16. So we will see 17, 18, 19 going forward today. Now, in this, I have shown you Ravana, I have shown you Vibhishana, I have shown you Kumbhakarna. Why I have shown you these three photographs is they're all born in the same family, they're all siblings. You see, each man had his own faith. Ravana was a great devotee of Shiva, but he did not believe in Rama. So, your faith, if you are not in the mode of goodness, can lead you astray. So, this is the reason why I have shown you three brothers coming from the same family having different faith. Today, we are going to see dana, charity, the gift of giving. All of us know that dana, charity is very important. Krishna says even charity should be very carefully followed. It is not that I want to give, I give it to anyone and everyone. You have to follow the norms so that we don't make the mistake. Then E, enjoyer of everything. And today, for us, we are in Iskcon, so we know there is a Maha Mantra. We chant Hare Krishna before any auspicious activity. Krishna is today giving us a magical formula in this chapter. He says, chant Om Tat Sat before whatever you do. Now, for example, we can adopt it for Gita. Even though we have chanted Hare Krishna mantra, we will say Om Tat Sat Bhagwadgita As. So, whatever mistakes we are going to make or we are likely to make, whatever lapse of attention we may have, all that is pardoned by these three words, Om Tat Sat. A very powerful guidance, very powerful formula. I would call it the magical formula for all of us follow the path of Dharma. And Krishna is giving it himself to Arjuna so that all of us are benefited. What is the main focus of this chapter? Talks us through, or Krishna talks to Arjuna about five disciplines. What are they? He says Shraddha, faith. Most important thing. Every one of us is born with faith. And that, it is something which you cannot argue against. Even a person who says, I'm an atheist, I don't believe in God, that itself is faith. There is no God, he believes strongly in that. So faith is the character of man. Food, we have studied in the last class, how important it is to make the right choice. Eat food which brings you into the mode of goodness. Yajna, sacrifice. Very easy way of understanding this is that generally, whatever work we do tends to be a ritual. If you can chant Om Tat Sat, same ritual will become spiritual. That is what Krishna is trying to tell us by saying chant Om Tat Sat before you do anything. Ah, we have seen different kinds of tapa. We are going to see the detail today in the next three verses. Even austerity is in the three modes. Then dhanam, charity. So these five disciplines define our life. Any human being, he is guided by these. So Krishna talks in detail about how in each of these disciplines we can follow the right path and be in the right mode. Just a quick recap so that we understand how this chapter flows from chapter 16. In chapter 16, the penultimate verse, Krishna says, who is a demoniac person? He who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whim attains neither perfection nor happiness, nor the supreme destination. So he says, such people are demoniac because they have no faith in scriptures. Then the last verse, he says, who are divine? The only difference between the two is they have faith in scriptures. They believe in the path of gradual elevation. All of us have our own faults, our own weaknesses. There are many things which are not as per scriptural definition. Krishna says, if you start the process of sadhana, then and just follow what the scriptures say, like there are certain rules and regulations. Follow the rules and regulations. Scripture says, be honest, do not lie. Try to follow that in our life. Try to avoid prohibited behavior. What is the prohibited behavior? It is no illicit sex, no gambling, no meat eating, no. So these are things which we can easily avoid if we have that right consciousness. Why we should avoid? Because it is for our own good. Understanding one's duty. What is our duty? Following the path of Dharma, following the Shastras. So if you follow this, he says, one will develop the divine qualities. They will come out of us. They're all existing within, hidden. We have to bring them out. So now Arjuna is a very intelligent student. He just doesn't listen. He asks questions. In 17th chapter, he says, oh Lord, you have defined to me people who have no faith. You have defined to me people who have faith. Now, my question to you is, there are some people who have some faith, but they don't follow the Vedas. They disregard Vedas. They do worship. Where do I put them? They are neither here, they are not there. They are in middle. Some worship, some faith, but they don't follow Vedas. So the whole chapter Krishna has described as to how we can identify what faith we are in. Now, I will take you through a short movie clip which very nicely tells you what is faith. Faith
भक्त और भगवान का संबंध
let's
कितना
go through
अटूट
this.
होता है, आप इस सुंदर वृतांत से जान जाएंगे। एक बार की बात है, एक संत जगन्नाथ पुरी से मथुरा की ओर आ रहे थे। उनके पास बड्ढे सुंदर ठाकुर जी थे। वे संत उन ठाकुर जी को हमेशा साथ ही लिए रहते थे और बड़े प्रेम से उनकी पूजा अर्चना कर लाड़ लड़ाया करते थे। ट्रेन से यात्रा करते समय बाबा ने ठाकुर जी को अपने बगल की सीट पर रख दिया और अन्य संतों के साथ हरि चर्चा में मग्न हो गए। जब ट्रेन रुकी और सब संत उतरे, तब वे सत्संग में इतने मग्न हो चुके थे कि झोला गाड़ी में ही रह गया, उसमें रखे ठाकुर जी भी वहीं गाड़ी में रह गए। संत सत्संग की मस्ती में भावों में ऐसा बहे कि ठाकुर जी को साथ लेकर आना ही भूल गए। बहुत देर बाद जब उस संत के आश्रम पर सब संत पहुंचे और भोजन प्रसाद पाने का समय आया, तो उन प्रेमी संत ने अपने ठाकुर जी को खोजा और देखा कि हाय, हमारे ठाकुर जी तो हैं ही नहीं। संत बहुत व्याकुल हो गए, बहुत रोने लगे, परंतु ठाकुर जी मिले नहीं। उन्होंने ठाकुर जी के वियोग में अन्न जल लेना स्वीकार नहीं किया। संत बहुत व्याकुल होकर विरह में अपने ठाकुर जी को पुकारकर रोने लगे। तब उनके एक पहचान के संत ने कहा, महाराज, मैं आपको बहुत सुंदर चिन्हों से अंकित नए ठाकुर जी दे देता हूं। परंतु उन संत ने कहा कि हमें अपने वही ठाकुर चाहिए जिनको हम अब तक लाड़ लड़ाते आए हैं। तभी एक दूसरे संत ने पूछा, आपने उन्हें कहाँ रखा था? मुझे तो लगता है गाड़ी में ही छूट गए होंगे। एक संत बोले, अब कई घंटे बीत गए हैं, गाड़ी से किसी ने निकाल लिए होंगे और फिर गाड़ी भी बहुत आगे निकल चुकी होगी। इस पर वह संत बोले, मैं वहां जाकर स्टेशन मास्टर से बात करना चाहता हूं। सब संत उन महात्मा को लेकर स्टेशन पहुंचे। स्टेशन मास्टर से मिले और ठाकुर जी के गुम होने की शिकायत करने लगे। उन्होंने पूछा कि कौन सी गाड़ी में आप बैठकर आए थे। संतों ने गाड़ी का नाम स्टेशन मास्टर को बताया तो वह कहने लगा, महाराज, कई घंटे हो गए, यही वाली गाड़ी ही तो यहाँ खड़ी डीडी ही हो गई है और किसी प्रकार भी आगे नहीं बढ़ रही है। न कोई खराबी है न अन्य कोई दिक्कत। कई सारे इंजीनियर सब कुछ चेक कर चुके हैं परंतु कोई खराबी दिखती है नहीं। महात्मा जी बोले, अब भी आगे बढ़ेगी, मेरे बिना मेरे प्यारे कहीं अन्यत्र कैसे चले जाएंगे। वे महात्मा अंदर ट्रेन के डिब्बे के अंदर गए और ठाकुर जी वहीं रखे हुए थे जहां महात्मा ने उन्हें विराजित किया था। अपने ठाकुर जी को महात्मा ने गले लगाया और जैसे ही महात्मा जी उतरे गाड़ी आगे बढ़ने लग गई। ट्रेन का चालक, स्टेशन मास्टर तथा सभी इंजीनियर सभी आश्चर्य में पड़ गए और बाद में उन्होंने जब यह पूरी लीला सुनी तो वे गदगद हो गए। उसके बाद वे सभी जो वहां उपस्थित उन सभी ने अपना जीवन संत और भगवंत की सेवा में लगा दिया। भक्तो भगवान जी भी खुद कहते हैं ना, भक्त जहां मम पग धरे तहां धरूं में हाथ, सदा संग लाग्यो फिरूं, कबहू न छोड़ूं साथ। मत तोला कर इबादत को अपने हिसाब से। ठाकुर जी की रहमतें देखकर अक्सर तराजू टूट जाते हैं। प्रभु भक्ति हमारी आत्मा का उत्सव है। प्रभु की भक्ति यानी प्रभु से एकमयता, तन्मयता। भगवान की भक्ति करते करते भक्त क्षीर नीर की तरह एक हो जाता है। दूध और पानी दोनों भिन्न द्रव्य हैं परंतु ये दोनों जब एक साथ मिल जाते हैं तब एक रस हो जाते हैं। उसी प्रकार भक्त और भगवान का भी दूध और पानी जैसा संबंध है। उन्होंने कहा, भक्त और भगवान के साथ एकमेकता का संबंध जोड़ ढाने के लिए परम आलंबन कोई हो तो वह भक्ति है। कृपया वीडियो देखने के बाद शेयर। भक्त और भगवान का संबंध कितना अटूट होता है। आप इस सुंदर भक्त और भगवान का संबंध कितना अटूट होता है। आप इस सुंदर
So that was a very nice clipping, which shows how faith is. And faith is like water and milk. Once you mix them, you cannot separate the two. So faith is inherent character of every person. So we should try to realize, be aware after we go through this chapter as to how we can be positioned or we can tailor make our faith to be on the path of goodness. So this is the whole essence of this. We may not know. So with this knowledge, we have to apply them. That is realization. Hare Krishna uncle, I just saw that you have joined. Welcome. So we continue. So we are on A, lesson 2, aspects of lifestyle. So we have completed food, we have completed worship, we are on austerity, we have completed 14, 15, 16, where we talk about you can perform austerity through your body, you can perform austerity through your speech, the way we speak, the way we address each other, and we can perform austerity through the mind. So after doing that, Krishna also gives us further information. He says in the next three verses, how the austerity is also based in the three modes. And what should be our outlook, our guidance, our framework? Try and move away from being in, let's say we were performing austerity in the mode of passion. We should try and bring ourselves to performing the same austerity in the mode of goodness. So the mantra is move away from Rajasic and Tamasic to Sattvic. That is the mantra. Let's go through the first verse. Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapastat trividam narahi apalakankshibir yuktaihi satvikam parichakshate. So now Krishna describes to us what is the austerity in goodness. This threefold austerity performed with transcendental faith by men, not expecting material benefits. Apalakankshibir, but engaged only for the sake of the supreme, is called austerity in goodness. So quite easy to understand. What is he saying? Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapastat trividham narahi. You are performing the threefold austerities, your body, your mind, and your speech. Perform it with transcendental faith. Only then that becomes austerity in three modes. Have that faith in the Lord. Fulakankshibir yuktaihi. Do not expect material benefits. It's like, I have my exam tomorrow and I go to any temple. For example, in Bombay, you have Siddhivinayak. So that is Yuddha Kale Shastrabhyasa. Don't go to the Lord with an expectation. Oh, I will do this, give me some benefit. The moment you have that, then it is no longer austerity in the mode of goodness. It is the mode austerity in the mode of passion, which we'll see in the next verse. You are doing this only for the Lord, nothing else. I do this and I don't get anything back in return, I am happy. Satvikam parichakshate. This is austerity in goodness. Let's go to the next verse. Satkarmana pujartam tapodambena chaiva yat kriyate tad iha proktam rajasam chalam adruvam. Now he's describing to us what is the austerity in passion. Most of us will recognize this because we tend to do this. Penance performed out of pride and for the sake of gaining respect, honor, and worship is said to be in the mode of passion. It is neither stable nor permanent. Rajasam chalam madruvam. It is neither stable nor permanent. What is Krishna saying? Satkara mana pujartam. Yes, you are performing penance, you are performing austerity, but what is the underlying behavior? You are doing it out of pride. I want to have Lord Ganesha in my house, and I am going to keep the biggest uh, murti that I can find. Now, it's not a competition. What is important is you are offering your worship to Ganesha on that day and celebrating that as a festival. Why should you think of bringing the biggest Ganpati idol that is available in the market? That is, you are performing that puja not because of faith, not because of surrender. You are performing that out of pride. Next. Tapodambena chaivayat kriyate tat iha proktam. Why are you offering that worship? You're offering it for respect. The whole society should say, अरे यार उनके घर में इतना अच्छा गणपति मूर्ति था, पूछो मत. So you want honor and that worship from others. Wow, this man is a great guy. We should avoid falling into this trap. Chalam adruvam. He says, such worship, yes, you will get some credit for what puja you did, but it is completely diluted because you are not performed it in the mode of goodness. You're not performed it in the mode of sacrifice. This, yes, it is a sacrifice, but he says this is neither stable nor permanent. After having done all the hard work, why should we allow it to get wasted just by having this desire for being recognized? Krishna says, correct yourself. Come to this mode of goodness and say that I am doing this Ganpati Puja because I want to surrender myself to Lord Ganpati. That is the best place to be in. We go further. Mooda grahinat manoyat pidaya kriyate tapaha parasyota parasyo sadhanartam va tamasam udharatam. Now we are in the austerity in the mode of ignorance. This is even worse than mode of passion. Penance performed out of foolishness, with self-torture, or to destroy or injure others is said to be in the mode of ignorance. This is what our famous Rakshasas used to do. What they did? Muda grahinat mano yat. Out of foolishness, I perform penance not for getting benefited myself. I am performing penance because I want to destroy someone or I want to cause pain to someone. I want to rule this world. That is absolute ignorance. Pidaya kriyate tapaha. And your bhakti, your faith is not in question because you are performing the harshest of austerities with self-torture. Do it for something good. But no, they say paras yot sadhanartham va, to destroy or injure others. So what's your objective? I am offering praise to the Lord, not because I want to be benefited. I want to have that power in me so that I can destroy someone else or I can cause grief to him. That is not austerity in goodness. That is austerity in ignorance. Let's see this if it plays. This is famous Asmasura story. Let me see if it plays. Here we go. Om Namah Shivaya. Om
Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Prabhu! प्रभु, दानवराज भस्मासुर, तुम्हारा घोर तप सफल हुआ। वरदान मांगो। प्रभु, मुझे ऐसी शक्ति दीजिए जिसके सिर पर हाथ रखूं वो भस्म हो जाए। तथास्तु। वरदान का विश्वास कैसे हो? परीक्षा करके देख लो। इस समय तो आप ही हैं।
So what is the moral of the story? The moral of the story is you are performing penance, you are getting the benediction from Lord Shiva, but you are so foolish that you are asking that benediction to destroy others. Krishna says you can ask anything as benediction for your improvement, but not with the intention of harming others. It's so simple to understand, but so very difficult to implement. Let's go to the next most important discipline of any human being, that is charity. Most of us want to do charity. Now, with these three verses, Krishna tells us what is the right way of doing charity. What has happened? One second. Yeah. दातव्यम् इति यद्दानं दीयते अनुपकारिणे देशे काले च पात्रे च तद्दानं सात्विकस्मृतम्. So this is charity in goodness, and all of us should try to do charity in the mode of goodness. And what does it involve? He says charity given out of duty. So it's not something to impress others without expectation of return at the proper time and place. And to a worthy person is considered to be in the mode of goodness. So we should be very careful when we give charity. In Brihadaranya Upanishad, it says, Tamedam Vedanu Vachanena Brahmana Vidashanti Yagnena Danena Tapasa Anasakena. Now, Krishna is borrowing from the Upanishad in this verse. What is the meaning of this? He says, the Upanishad is saying a person spiritually progresses through these three significant disciplines. What we have studied and what we are studying: Yagna, Dana, and Tapaha. So Krishna is following from this Upanishad and quoting this and taking us through this charity. And he says, this is such an important discipline of our life. We should ensure that we do it correctly. Datavyam iti yat danam. Charity you have to give. It's a must. You must love to give. It's not that I'm forcing you to give. Diyate anupakarine. Most important word, anupakarine. Do not have expectation of any return benefit. These days, whenever we go to a function, we carry a gift, even though the invite says strictly no gift. We go there, give the gift. The host is slightly embarrassed, and then in our minds there is small expectation that kuch return gift bhi aa sakta hai. Krishna says the moment you expect return gift, that is not charity in the mode of goodness. So you should give for the sake of giving, for the love of giving. Dese kale cha patre cha, at the proper time and place. And now, all of us, we should try to understand what is the essence of this verse. Now we are driving and we are at the traffic signal. We see women, old women carrying young child, and we become compassionate and give them money. But yes, we did it in good faith because we wanted to help the poor child and the mother. Say, begging is also a racket. So Krishna says, please be careful. Now, how do we resolve this? It's very easy to say, but very difficult to apply. So, the best way of resolving such a dilemma is you should remember and realize that there are two kinds of seva in this world. There are two kinds of charity that you can do. One is Madhava Seva or Manava Seva. In Manava Seva, you always have this challenge. I give money and that is misused. Because when the charity is misused, sins of that misuse also comes to you. So you should be very careful. Or Madhava Seva. What is the beauty of Madhava Seva? Whenever you give charity in the name of the Lord to a temple, whatever happens, you are assured of only pious credit and you are not assured of a sinful credit. That's the reason why Krishna says, choose which one you want to do. Is it pleasurable for you to build the best hospital, the largest old age home? Choice is yours. Ensure that it is not misused. If you want to keep it simple, you say that, okay, I have 10 rupees to give as charity today. I will go and give it to a temple. Why? Because it is transcendental charity. When I give anything to the Lord, nothing comes back to me. Everything goes to Him. So this is how we should try to guide ourselves. Next verse. So, summary: give as a duty, no expectations, proper time and place to a worthy person. Yattu pratyupakarartam phalam uddishya va punah dhyate cha pariklistam taddanam rajasam smrutam. This is charity in the mode of passion. Translation. But charity performed with the expectation of some return or with a desire for fruitive results or in a grudging mood said to be charity in the mode of passion. Yattu pratyupakarartham. You are doing this charity with an expectation of some returns. Phalam uddishya va punaha. You are doing this charity for enjoyment. Dhyate cha pariklistam. And you are giving charity because of compulsion. You are in the society and you are always worried, what will people think? Let me give my part. Let me do my bit to the society. Now, that is not love. When you give, you should give it with love. Taddanam rajasam smritam. This is charity in the mode of passion. So we should be careful to avoid this kind of charity. What is the summary? You have an expectation. I get something out of it. I want enjoyment out of it. Or I am compelled. I'm really not comfortable in giving, but I'm forced to give. So this is charity in the mode of passion. Here, this is a nice verse from Sanskrit's Bhashita. It says, person may become poor by the fault of non-giving of gifts. So remember, if in this life we don't do charity, there is a chance that I will get a body of a poor person in the next life. And he does sinful deeds by the fault of poverty. Because I am poor, I commit sin. I borrow, I beg, I steal. All that is only giving me sinful credits. So it's a wheel. It keeps rotating. Say he necessarily goes to hell because of all the sinful deeds he did, because he was poor, due to the sin. Poor again, sinner again, he becomes. So how do you break the cycle? Whatever little you have, try to give it. It's not about I gave 100, I gave 1,000. God is not here to count what you are giving. God is here only to count our power. Are we giving it with love? Even if you give one grain of rice to an ant, that is also charity in the mode of goodness. Going further. Adeshakale yad danam patribhyascha dhiyate tatrutam avagnatam tattamasam udharatam. Charity in the mode of ignorance. And charity performed at an impure place, at an improper time, to unworthy persons, or without proper attention and respect, is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Quite easy to understand. Adesha kale yad danam. Wrong place, wrong time. What would be the wrong place, wrong time? Now, let us say we have a very no close relative. He comes to us and says that, oh, I'm building a club, and that club will collect revenue by subscription membership fees, and then that club will also run a hospital for the poor. So now this is very good when you hear it for the first time. I build a club, and the club will have income, and that income will be used to run an hospital. Now, it all depends on what is the actual efficiency of implementation. Is it really being done in the way it was planned, or if there are leakages? If there are leakages, and if there is that money is used for some sinful acts, then that sinful reaction will come to us. So you should be very careful that I don't want to get into this if only, oh, मुझे मालूम नहीं था. अगर मुझे मालूम था, मैं ये नहीं करने वाला हूँ. So that is something which you should avoid. You should say that I will rather give the money directly to the hospital than give it to a club, and through the club it will go to the hospital. Choose your mode of charity, mode of person, mode of place. Make the right choice. Apatrebhyascha diyate. Do not give it to an unworthy person. Asatkrutam avagnatam. Give without proper attention and respect. So whoever person who gets from us should not feel small. Don't make him obligation. He should not be feeling obliged to you. You are giving it out of brotherly love, out of motherly love, out of fatherly love. That should be the spirit when you give charity to others. Summary: the charity is in the mode of ignorance if you are giving it in the impure place, improper time, and to an unworthy person. So this is the summary. So you have charity in the mode of goodness, you have charity in the mode of passion, and charity in the mode of ignorance. And what is our understanding? What is our learning? Try to move passion to goodness, try to move ignorance to goodness. That is the journey of life. Now we come to the most important lesson, the last concluding session of this chapter, which is E, enjoyer of everything. And Krishna is giving us the magical formula, Om Tat Sat. And for this, to utter these words, you don't need any qualification. You can be anybody, but it is open to all. Now, before I really start these verses, I will share a nice story. I'm sure most of us would have heard it one time or the other. So this story is about a merchant, a rich merchant who has 4 wives. Very interesting. Now, of the 4 wives, he loved his fourth wife the most, and he took great care of her. He lavished all his love on her. So, who was his most important wife? Fourth wife. Third, yes, he loved her quite well, and he was proud of her because he felt, wow, she is worthy of my love. Second wife, yes, fourth, top. Third is slightly less. Second is slightly lesser. Why? Because she was considerate, loving, patient, and most trusted. He could confide anything with the second wife. So he was quite happy and loving her also. Then comes the first wife. First wife is the most loyal, nice, kind, not demanding, always with him. Still, in terms of the hierarchy of love, first wife was perhaps last. Fourth is first, and first is last. So this is how life was going on. One day, he fell ill, and the doctor said, "Oh, dear merchant, you don't have much time. You must make preparations to leave this world." He was very unhappy. So he said, "Now, let me go and ask my wife who will support me in the time of my need." So he went to met his fourth wife. He says, I love you the most. Now my time to die has come. Will you follow me and give me company? I am afraid to go alone. The wife says, "Sorry, I can't be with you now. I have my own life to lead." The merchant was very sad. He was shocked. Most loving wife is so blunt. Then he asked his third wife. Third wife gives a similar answer. She says, "I have my life to lead. It was till now very good. I was with you, but I will not spoil my life. I cannot come with you." Then the merchant asks the second wife. Similar response. She says, "No, I'm sorry. I cannot help you this time." When suddenly a voice in the room says from his first wife, "I will follow you wherever you go." He got up and said, "Oh, my first wife, I have been always ignoring you. I could have taken so much care of you, but only I can go back in time. I would have changed my love for my first, fourth, third, and second wives." He was very, very sad for having lost the whole opportunity in his lifetime. Now, it is a story so far. From here, it becomes reality. And what is the reality? All of us are rich merchants. All of us have four wives. Now, the question is, who are they? Fourth wife is our status, our position, our wealth, our bangla, our gadi. It is our fourth wife. And we have struggled the whole life to look after this wife. Third wife. Who is the third wife? Our body. We are considering the body as our temple. We go to the gym, we take precautions, we exercise, follow good diet, etc., etc. Why? We want this body to be healthy. It is not wrong to love your body, but if you were asked, did I do justice to looking after my second wife and my first wife, then you will have the answer. Third wife, body the third wife. Second wife, our family, friends, siblings, parents, brother, sister, all the family members are around us. But when I say I'm dying, will anyone come with you? They say, at best, we will come till the burial ground. We'll come till the grave. We cannot accompany you beyond that because it is physically not possible. But who is the first wife? First wife is our soul. And the soul and the first wife is the only person who will come with us even after we give up the body. So Krishna says, realize the moral of the story. Try and look after your soul, who is your permanent companion in this life and millions of lifetimes which are going to come forward in future. Do not ignore this wife for all the other wives. And in this context, Krishna is giving us this magical formula, Om Tat Sat. Let's go through this verse. Very, very interesting verse. Om Tat Sat iti nirdesho brahmana strividas prutaha brahmanastena vedascha yajnascha vihita pura. The most important word in this verse is pura. So what Krishna says, he starts the translation. From the beginning of creation, that is pura. Om Tat Sat. These three words indicate the supreme absolute truth, Vishnu, and are chanted by Brahmanas during sacrifices for the satisfaction of Supreme. What a magical formula. Krishna is saying, just chant this magical formula before you do anything. And this is a direct answer to Arjuna's question. Oh, Krishna, please tell me, where do I put these people? They have some faith, they do some worship, but they ignore the Vedas. So Krishna is saying, all such people can attain my blessings, my protections. They can elevate themselves from position of ignorance, passion to mode of goodness by chanting the word Om Tat Sat. So even for us, when we are doing Gita class, I must say, Om Tat Tat Srimad Bhagwadgita As. So whatever mistakes we have done, God will forgive us. So why is Krishna giving us this magical formula? Because it is natural that we will make some mistakes when we are doing some puja. Maybe we are doing, let us say, Satyanarayana puja or Navagraha Homa. There will be some mistake, either in chanting of the mantras or our attention is diverted for a few minutes, whatever. Krishna says, don't worry about lapses. Don't worry about the sin it may create. All that you have to do as my devotees, just say Om Tat Sat. Now, Krishna is not saying you must say Krishna. Only then I will listen to your prayers. He says either you say Om Tat Sat together, or if you say even Om or Tat or Sat individually, I am happy and I will bless you. I will protect you. It is the strength of this magical formula. Om Tat Sat iti nirdesho. So these three, Om Tat Sat, are the three names of the Lord. Trividaha, threefold. The names of whom? The names of the Lord. The names of Brahman, the Lord who created this world. Now let's understand what is Om. Om is Vishnu. Om helps us to remember the Lord. Om is the vibration. Om is derived from the root of Avati Rakshayati. Om means protector. Om, another meaning. It comes from three syllables. A, U, Ma. So, A represents the waking state. U represents the dream state. And Ma represents the deep sleep state. And after we chant Om, if you observe, Om, it peters away. There is a silence at the end after we say Om. That is fourth state of any human being, and that is Turiya. That is the substratum of all the three states. So this is consciousness. All the three other states play in this substratum. So this is how we should realize what is Om. And if you also realize, or if you observe, when you say Ah, you open your mouth. Om. And when you come to the end of Om, you close your mouth. So, if anything in this world, if it is manifested in this world, now this laptop, this phone, whatever, if I have to address that, I have to open my mouth and close my mouth. So, you have to take consent of the Lord whenever you say Om. Next is, what is Tat? This detached work. Tat means very simple, that. What is that? Now, I know this. Why I know this? Because this is in front of me. This is my laptop. This is my phone. This is my water bottle. This is a beautiful evening in front of me. All the things that I said, this is in front of me. I can see that, I can hear, I can smell, or I can experience it through my five senses. So that is why we call this. So that is something which we cannot experience. That is the absolute truth. So whenever we don't understand anything, we say that. So this is the effect. That is the cause. That is the supreme Lord. That is so we have understood Om, we have understood Tat. And the beauty is that whenever we say Tat, whenever we say that, the implication in our mind is it is far away. That is why we are saying that truth. Tat. Actually, if you reflect, the Lord is present within us also as Paramatma. But we always believe He's far away, He's in the heavenly abode. Why? Because of our contamination. Our mind is not pure. All this that we are doing by chanting Om Tat Sat is to purify this mind so that we can see the Lord within ourselves. And this truth, this Tat, is where the Srushti, creation is happening, Sthiti, the maintenance is happening, and Laya, the destruction is happening. And that is truth, which cannot be modified. You cannot change. It is unchanging. It remains eternal. Sat is the Lord. Then we go to Sat. What is Sat? It may sound difficult. I'm sure as we go through this, you will start picking up the essence of it. Sat means truth, existence. What is truth? We are alive. We are existing. This is the truth. But what we should understand is only truth is Bhagavan. The only truth is Krishna. And Acharyas give a beautiful example. How do we understand this existence? Now, let us say we are sleeping, and in our sleep, we dream. So, what is the reality? The reality is the dreamer. I am sleeping, I am dreaming. That is the only reality. Whatever happens in my dream is a borrowed existence, it's a reflection of my mind. Similarly, the word Sat is telling us the truth that all this, of this entire creation is nothing but it is borrowed existence of the Lord. So if you, it's like when I sleep, I dream. When I'm awake, there is no dream, and I realize the only reality is me. So what we should realize by chanting Om Tat Sat is Sat is the reality, and this whole world is existing because of the Lord. And the whole world exists within Him. We are part of Him. This is Om Tat. Now, after understanding what is Om Tat Sat, so Tat is you are surrendering to that supreme for liberation. The moment you understand the meaning of Tat, you are qualified for liberation. Tat. Then what do you do? Om is Vishnu. Tat is you are praying to him, you are surrendering to him because he is absolute. Sat, you are dedicating your activity for the Lord's pleasure. That is devotional service. How do I surrender to the Lord? By saying Sat. Now, here in this word, if you see, there are three things which he mentions. He says, Brahmanas tat tena vedascha. So, Brahmanas, Vedas, and Yagnascha Vita Pura. And I told you, Pura means at the time of creation, from the beginning of creation. So, what is the significance of Pura means? Brahmaji is our eternal father. So, Krishna created Brahma through his navel and said, Oh Brahma, create this universe. So, what Brahma did is he was doing it for the first time. He said, I will do this after chanting Om Tat Sat. So, from those days, it is our parampara. So, Krishna says, follow the parampara. All of you, whenever you do any work, whatever work it is, you want to drink a cup of tea, you say Om Tat Sat and drink. So, if there is any sin in that, that is gone to the Lord's credit. So while Brahma was creating this universe, he created three important things. Let's start with Vedas. What is Veda? Veda is the treasure of knowledge. All that we have to do in this world, how we have to live, is defined in Vedas. Who created Vedas? Brahma created Vedas because he says, oh, my dear human beings, you must know what you should do, how you should do. So refer to Vedas. Then came Yajna. What is Yajna? Sacrifice. Whatever we do, as per Vedas, it says, if you don't want any sins coming out of it, offer it to the Lord. So, if you study this manual, it tells you any act, any karma has to be yoga. The moment you offer it to the Lord, it becomes yoga karma. When you put this knowledge into practice, it becomes yajna. It becomes sacrifice. It is telling us the right way of living. Give more than you get. Give selflessly. That is Yajna Dharma. We can experience our true nature, Sat Chit Ananda, if you just follow this advice. And Krishna is not saying this for the first time. He has said this earlier too. In 3.9, he says, work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. We cannot stop not acting. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Work we must, work we should. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, and in that way you will always remain free from bondage. What a magical formula. Krishna says, just chant these three words, Om Tat Sat, before you do anything, then all the sinful reactions are pardoned. You are not carrying any karma phala. You will become free from this. But why do we come into this world? Because of our desire to enjoy our karma phala. So if you stop that feeling of, whenever I do something, don't say I am doing it. Just say that I am nimitta matra. I am doing it for the benefit of the Lord. Whatever comes out of it also belongs to you. Now, So this is putting knowledge into practice. Yajna ho gaya. Then comes Brahmana. Brahmana is a very, very important word. And most of us have a very limited understanding. Brahmana is by no means Brahmin. Brahmana is not a caste. It's like saying the son of a judge should be a judge. Is it possible? The son of a doctor should be a doctor. Is it possible? It is not possible. Unless you study and qualify, neither can you be a judge nor can you be a doctor. Just because you are born as the son of them makes nothing, means nothing. Similarly, being born in a Brahmin family means nothing. Do you have the qualification to be called a Brahmana? And Brahmaji has defined the qualification in Vedas. He says, it is not a caste, it is not a religion, it is not a profession. Just because I am a priest in the temple, it doesn't mean I am a good Brahmana. Have I really understood the essence of Vedas? What is the essence of Vedas? Guna, inner qualification. I should be selfless. When I pray, I don't pray for myself. I am not a Brahmana, I am a Kripana if I pray for myself. I should always say, Sarve Janaha Sukino Bhavantu. I pray for this whole world. Then I am qualified to be a Brahmana. So Krishna says, Brahmana Tena Vedascha Yagnascha Vihita Pura. With this background, what does this line mean? Brahmana Srivida Sprutaha. All the Brahmanas, when they do any activity, they do it by Sprutaha. What do they remember? Sprutaha means remember. They remember the Lord and chant Om Tat Sat. Trivida means the three names of the Lord. Brahmanas Tena Vedascha. When the Brahmanas are following the Vedas, they are treading the path shown by the Vedas. That is Brahmanas Tena Vedascha, Yagnascha Vihita Pura. All the sacrifices that they are performing are Vihita, as per the scriptures. Vihita Pura. And this is the Parampara. This started from the day this universe was created. Then from the day when Brahma started the task of creation this universe, he started by chanting Om Tat Sat. As his children, we should follow chanting Om Tat Sat. So from today, one lesson if we can take home is that whatever work we do, we will start with saying Om Tat Sat. With this, we go. And I must emphasize this. When you say Om, Krishna has said in these two verses, in 7.8, he says, O son of Kunti, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun, and the moon. Pranava Sarva Vedeshu, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I am the sound in ether and ability in man. So when we say Om, we are nothing but remembering the Supreme Lord Krishna. That is why it says Om Bhurbhuvat Suvaha, Om Namo Narayana. Any mantra that you take in Vedas starts with the word Om. In 10.25 also he says, of the great sages, I am Bhrugu. Of vibrations, I am the transcendental Om. Asmi Ekam Aksharam. Of sacrifices, I am chanting of the holy names, Japa. And of immovable things, I am the Himalayas. So when we say Om Tat Sat, we are remembering Krishna, the Supreme Lord. Let's go to the word further. Tasmat Om iti udaratya yagnadana tapakriyaha pravartante vidanoktaha satatam brahmavadinam. Glorification of God, Om. So he continues, two verses. We are only knowing the meaning of Om. Om is always chanted in the beginning by those who perform sacrifice, charity, and austerity in accordance with scriptural regulations to attain the supreme. Magic formula is whenever we do something, it could be yajna, dana, or tapa, start by saying Om. What is he? Let's go line by line. Tatmat. Tatmat means because, therefore. Why is Krishna saying therefore? Because Brahma chanted Om Tat Sat. The beginning of the universe, the first day, this world came into being by the chant of this threefold names of the Lord. So we should follow the same. Because Brahma chanted this as his children, we will chant Om Iti Udaratya. When we will chant this, when we do any of these activities, it could be Yajna, Dana, Tapa, whatever be the activities, we will start by chanting this. Pravartante means when I start, before I start, Vidanoktaha. Whatever I do, whether it is yajna, dana, tapa, I will do it as per the recommendation of the scriptures. And when I do that, Satatam, always, Brahmavadina, I will follow the path shown by Brahma. I will chant Om Tat Sat as I do these activities. This is the second verse, which is giving the meaning of Om. It is said in Rigveda, Om Tat Vishnu Paramam Padam. So, performance of everything on behalf of the Lord assures the perfection of all activity. So, the mantra is, before I do anything, if I chant the name, whatever comes out of it also belongs to the Supreme Lord. We go to the description of now. Tat iti anabasindhaya palam yajna tapakriya dana kriya cha vividaha priyante moksha kangshibihi. Now, Krishna says, what is the essence of chanting Tat? Without desiring fruitive results, one should perform various kinds of sacrifice, penance, and charity with the word. Purpose of such transcendental activities is to get free from material entanglement. Can we have any more simpler formula than this? Tat iti anabhisandhaya phalam. Tat iti means say tat before you do anything. Say tat, but do not have any expectation. In that verse, it says anupakarine. Here it says anubhisandhaya. Do not have any expectation of results. What is phala? Phala is artha attama. Either my desire is fulfilled or I want something more. I am blessed for that. So he says, do not have this bhava when you perform any of these three important activities, yajna, pa, or dana. Vivida kriya means any of these three, either one of them or all of them. Because when you do it without expectation, you are getting purification. When you do it with expectation, you will continue to be in this cycle of life and death. So try to remove that desire when you are offering and when you are saying, and when you say that and do it, that is offered to the Lord. Moksha Kangshibi. Now, why do elders say Krishna Arpanamastu? Whenever we do anything, you should say Krishna Arpanamastu. Means that entire thing belongs to you, O Lord. Please accept it. Moksha Kangshibi. So whenever they are doing any kriya, they are doing it for moksha. Why? Because they are having no desire for enjoying that fruit. The moment the karma is done as a yajna to the Lord, it becomes karma yoga. Why we are getting birth in this world? Because of karma phala. We did something good. I want to enjoy the pious credit. Then Krishna says, come back into this world. Now, our objective should be, I will do a pious deed. I will get a pious credit, but I don't want to come back into this world. I want to offer it to you, O my Lord. The moment you do that, your activity has become transcendental. So Krishna is saying, say tat before you do anything. Going further. Tad bhavi sadhu bhave cha tad iti etat prayujyate prashasti karmani tataha sat shabda bharta yujyate. So now we have finished Om and Tat. We are coming to the description of Tat. So the next two verses we talk about Sat. The translation. The absolute truth is the objective of devotional sacrifice. And it is indicated by the word Sat. The performer of such sacrifice is also called Tat. So in these two verses, Krishna gives us the meaning of what all things can be achieved by saying Sat. First is Sadbhave. When something is true, say Sat. Second is a Sadhu Bhave cha. Good thoughts, Satvichar, Sadachar, Satpurusha, Saint, Sun, all this Sadhu Bhave. When you are in the midst of saints, sadhus, it is Sat. Prashaste Karmani, auspicious activity. Now, why is Krishna saying Prashaste Karmani? Now, we should realize that whatever we do, there are two types of activities. One is direct. Now, what are direct activities which can be performed to satisfy Krishna? It could be you offer a ghee lamp. You offer, let's say, I am going to offer you the austerity of cleaning the temple. I will sweep the temple. I will sing kirtans in the temple. or I will make flower garlands, or I will help in distribution of prasad to your devotees. All these are direct activities for the pleasure of the Lord. You can also do indirect activities. Now, I grow flowers, I grow grains, I grow fruits in my fields. What do I do? First crop, I come and offer it to the temple, because that is whatever I have done, I am offering it to you, and that good activity is Sat. So you can understand Sat by one is what is true, second is what is in the good thoughts that we get, that is Sat. And the third is whatever karma we do by offering it to the Lord, that becomes Sat. That becomes auspicious activity. Going to the next verse, he continues. यज्ञे तपसि दाने च स्थिति सत् इति चोच्यते कर्म चैव तत् अर्थयम् सत् इति एवाभिधीयते एव अभिधीयते. Description of Sat. As are all works of sacrifice, penance, and charity, which, true to the absolute nature, are performed to please the Supreme Person, O son of Pratha. So Krishna gives us two more meanings of the word Sat here. Titi. Titi means steadfastness. This is not something I do it today and I don't do it tomorrow. You have to repeat it consistently, constantly throughout your life. That is Titi. So whatever yajna, dana, tapa you're doing, you should do consistently by chanting Sat. Karma chaiva. Now, even a mundane karma, now what is the example of karma chaiva? Mundane karma. Now, let us say we are not having an online class, we are having an offline class. There are 10 devotees who are coming to listen to the Gita class. So, what I do is I perform a mundane activity like bringing chair, arranging the chair, keeping water bottles so that if someone is thirsty, they will have water. Now, this mundane activity of 5 minutes, when you do, Krishna says that is also Sat, because you are doing it for Gita class. And who is Gita? It is Krishna. So this is Tat Karma Chaiva. Then he says Artyam. This is bigger context. You are doing that as a worship of the Lord. That is devotional service. So when you do this, this becomes Sat. Sat iti eva bhidayate. So whenever you perform any of these activities, just start by saying Sat. So in this verse, Sat is used twice. That shows the importance. So the first word is, it is steadfastness. You have to consistently do it. And second is, it is applicable to whenever you do mundane karma, whenever you do a service as an offering to the Lord. Now with this, we come to the last verse of this chapter. Now here, he has concluded Om Tat Sat. Now he's giving us the meaning of Asat. Says, Ashraddhaya hutam dattam tapastaptam krutam chayat asat iti uchyate partha na chatat pretya no iha. Translation. Anything done as sacrifice, charity, or penance without faith in the Supreme, O son of Pruta, is impermanent. It is called Asat and is useless both in this life and the next. So, after concluding the magical formula, now Krishna says, let us look at, if you don't do any activity, you don't say Om Tat Sat, and if you do an activity by your own desire, Ashraddhaya Hutam Dattam. So, you're performing an activity without Shraddha, Ashraddhaya, without sincerity, Hutam, and you're offering it in the fire, in the oblation as a sacrifice. Dattam means given in charity. So you are performing an sacrifice, you're offering charity, but you are not doing it with Shraddha. The moment you don't have faith, then that activity will not give you any results. He says, it's like doubt is a disease that makes the patient believe the doctor is sick. So Krishna says, do not have this attitude. Tapastaptam krutum chayat. So any activity you do without Shraddha, krutum chayat, if you do it without sincerity, asaditi uchyate partha. That is impermanent, O partha. It is asat. You will not get material benefit, you will not get spiritual benefit. Na cha tat pretya no iha. He says you will not get benefits neither in this life nor in the next life. So here, if you are having no faith, then saying Om Tat Sat has also no use. So have some faith, say Om Tat Sat, then your activity becomes purified. It is in the earlier verses also Krishna had said this, He says, but ignorant and faithless persons who doubt the revealed scriptures do not attain God consciousness. They fall down. So faith is very important. For the doubting soul, there is happiness neither in this life, world, nor in the next. Na sukam samshayatmanaha. Krishna has said this earlier too, and he is now repeating the same thing. He says, Na chatat pretya na iha. You are not going to get any benefit in this life, nor in the next life. So do not perform any activity without faith. With this, we come to the now. What is the example of faith? Just want to leave this because we have seen what will happen if you do anything without faith. Now, the best example of faith is also in Gita, which will come in the next chapter. Just to give you an advanced preview, Arjuna tells Krishna in the 18th chapter, he says, Karishye vachanam tava. I will do your will. That is the level of surrender we must achieve. Even Jesus said in Bible, the night before he was hanged, let thy will be done, my Lord, not my will. That is surrender. So when is faith strong? When you surrender to the Lord. This is lack of faith. When Titanic was built and it set sail, the engineer, the owner said this very famous statement. Not even God himself could sink the Titanic. And imagine it did not complete even its first voyage. So Krishna says, do not have this overconfidence. Do not have this lack of faith. Have faith. That will definitely help us. So with this, we come to the end of this chapter. Before I close, I will take you through a small video, if this plays, which will give you a summary of this whole chapter. It's not playing. No. Very surprising. Anyway, this video is not playing. So with this, we come to the end of the chapter. Thank you very much. Please feel free to ask any questions, any doubts that you have. I'm happy to see Sambhaji. Hare Krishna, Sambhaji. I think he's on mute. Just to tell you, Sambhaji's mother is not feeling well. He is driving down, but he is still connected. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Sambhaji. If there are no questions, then I would close the session and all of us can enjoy your Sunday evening.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Shyam.
Thank you.